on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. You can join us with your thoughts and comments. We begin from here. Former GEMPA Rector, Professor Stephen Ahen, is daring the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to go after former Roads Minister Kwesi Amwakwata, who accused some officials of the Ministry of theft. EOCO has confirmed that it has completed an investigation into Professor Ahen's claim that individuals must pay 1 million cedis for road contracts in Ghana, deeming his comments presumptuous and lacking in evidence. Professor Ahen, in an interview with TV3, stated that EOCO has a misplaced priority. That's more.
Why haven't they disposed of the statement by the minister who said that all his ministry is full of thieves? The minister who referred the case to them said in August last year that of thieves. Listen, judgment of the Ghanaian, and I can to judge and see that there's no corruption, not only in the Ministry of Transport, but in public contracting and works. What I told them is that they wanted the name of the contractor, and I said that you know, and I know that what will happen to the contractor, not in terms of what he has said, but that's the end of their business. If I and you believe that the roads would get washed after a year and 2 years, where other places last for 25, is because they have gone through clean one, I will leave it. I wouldn't like to engage in this further. I think that I'll rest my case. I don't say they are lying. They say their investigation, they say it is presumptuous. It's up to them. Let them tell Ghanaians, they have told Ghanaians that it is presumptuous. Let Ghanaians make their judgment. Here is an insider who said that his ministry are full of thieves. You Ghanaians are not prepared to ask him to name the thieves in his ministry, but because there makes me appear, then you want to ask Stephen Ahen. Let it be there. The road minister said that his ministry are full of thieves. And if a head of an institution says his ministry is full of thieves, and you want to have a discussion with Stephen Ahen because he said that someone had told him that someone demanded a bribe from him, and therefore that is the national issue, I'm sorry, it's a misplaced priority.
Well, government is facing a 1 billion cedis debt for 9 months arrears of the second-tier pension scheme. 9 labor unions, referred to as the Forum, is demanding payment before May Day celebrations.
Government held a meeting with the Forum leadership on April 18 to discuss issues such as delays in past credit payments, union dues, and the 9 months arrears owed to public sector unions under the second-tier pension scheme. President Akufo-Addo promised to pay up to 5,000 pensioners who were shortchanged in the 2020 during their benefits payment.
Those monies that they were shortchanged with, all that monies that they were monies that were due them and was not given to them, those monies have been calculated, and it is approximately 56 million Ghana cedis. And that monies, okay, so those monies will be paid by the close of this particular week.
Government and the Forum have agreed to settle the 9 months arrears owed to pensioners under the second-tier pension scheme before the May Day celebrations.
The money is above 900 million Ghana cedis. So if you approximate it, we can say that the government is owing the 5 sector public schemes an amount of 1 billion Ghana cedis. There was a need for us to look at the 3% on the 9 months, that's approximately 1 billion principal, and then we look at an issue of how the money should be transferred to the 5 schemes, how much should be the direct transfers, and also the instrument. All those things will have to be done.
The Forum's leadership urged government not to default on the payment.
Government will listen and listen well, and the things they have told us on the table, they told Forum, the things they told Forum on the 18th, and all the promises they made to us should be fulfilled.
A 5-member committee has been constituted to assist in resolving grievances. On Wednesday, April 23, government and the 9 labor unions will meet with the National Labour Commission following the consensus reached.
Calls for a timetable following the intermittent power outages have heightened as the situation keeps getting worse. There are those who prefer to keep mute because they might use unsavory words in communicating their plight. George Quaining reports.
Sean and Ahmed have departed their homes to seek fresh air here. The lights have been off since morning, a change they are adjusting to despite their intense hatred for the consequences of intermittent power outages. Sean's day is wasted as his office lights are also off.
Today is Monday. I have to get Monday money for me to be able to conquer all the weeks by this today Monday off the light around 12. So what do you want us to do? The light that we are managing small to do some online work, to do some editing, to print some things for people, for us to get some coins, we take the lights. You take our shop, the shop lights too. So now you want us to be sitting like this, watching streets.
Ahmed lost his refrigerator due to unannounced power outages.
But they are trying to bring some talking, see it's a technical fault or some issue. What issue? So right now, I have a lot of things to print and editing. Some people are waiting for me to print it out for them. You understand? Right now, no lights. That's why I'm here to come and have a fresh air here.
Ahmed and Sean's concerns are a reflection of the numerous individuals who express their concerns on social media daily. People have to soak towels to shield their babies from the heat and others sleeping in the open. Sami Osetufo, a trader at Makola, is one of them and is seeking a timetable to prevent potential losses.
Nowadays, there be too much. At first, now I do okay, but right now, if you go off like 2-3 days, be weigh me like this, my soup, my stew, the other stuff we did my fridge inside, or just this and they will throw all them away, sake of the light out. Every day, before I go catch house, then the light it day off. So my other stuff to the spot, like my fridge like this, if you go off like 3 days, 4 days, they know they can't sake of the doom, so I know they house like this. The fridge guard, you know the job.
Sabiru Passion Anima spends over 200 cedis daily on fuel to power his generator, ensuring he meets client deadlines. He could have waited until the lights return, but he believes breaking the trust of confirmed clients will be detrimental to his business. The intermittent power outage is bringing out the emotions in people, and they're really blunt with their complaints. One thing remains key: anyone that you engage is calling for a timetable to plan their lives accordingly. George Quaining, TV3 News, Nima.
Report your frustrations on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter as at TV3 Ghana. Let us hear from you and how you're feeling about the intermittent power supply. Away from that, let's head to court because second accused and brother-in-law of the former Public Procurement Authority, Chief Executive Engineer Boateng Ejay, will feel relief though temporarily after almost 2 years of being on trial. Francis Kweku Ahen, charged with misusing public office for personal profit, was discharged by the court after the prosecution decided not to proceed with the case after further investigations. AB Ejay was, however, granted a 4 million bail. Lord Edwasar reports.
Boateng Ejay had been discharged after prosecution filed new charges against him. He was facing 17 charges of procurement breaches, but in court on Monday, prosecution prayed for the charges to be struck out since new charges had been proffered against him in a different court. At the criminal court too, when the case was called, the former Public Procurement Authority CEO pleaded not guilty to all 8 new charges against him. 4 counts relate to the use of public office for profits, and the other 4 relate to indirectly influencing procurement processes to gain an unfair advantage in the award of procurement contracts. Presiding Judge Marie-Louise Simmons granted him a bail of 4 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. The court also indicated that the registrar is to confirm with the relevant authorities the authenticity of passports in his name, while the sureties are to produce copies of their Ghana cards. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Members of Parliament in Ghana face numerous demands from their constituents to address their social and economic needs, resulting in many being poor after service, yet many continue to fight hard to become MPs. Evelyn Tingma in the following report spoke to some candidates vying to become MPs for the first time and reports.
I'm aware of a number of former members of Parliament who could not go out to buy medicine because of poverty and they died.
At the time, Professor Michael Kwe, as chair of the board, needed to help a former MP with 12,000 Ghana cedis. And this MP was requesting to do a surgery. So Professor Kwe whispered that minority leader find half and I also provide half. Mr. Speaker, before 1 week, this former MP passed on.
Former MPs, they die miserably, not because of anything. You see, they come out of Parliament unable to save anything.
Concerns from the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, and some members of Parliament and a former MP on the state of MPs post-service. Despite the challenges, many people dream of becoming lawmakers. Edem Agbana, who won the NDC parliamentary primary, is set to represent the people of Ketu North after the December parliamentary polls.
I really did a self-introspection, checked my accounts, and I was satisfied that at least I have built for myself within these few years some good financial base to be able to ride on that and go to Parliament.
The NPP's Dom Kwabena parliamentary candidate Michael Okwe Jr. acknowledges the low salary of MPs, just as NDC parliamentary candidate for Okankwe Central Abdullahi Abu Sadiq.
The judiciary are giving cars, executive are giving cars. All my directors here, they are giving cars. The chief directors in the ministry, ministers, they are all giving cars to use. But parliamentarians have to use their own money and get a loan. For me, money cannot be the incentive because maybe in your private practice, you are even earning more than what you'd get as a parliamentarian.
One won't call it request per se, but essentially, these are people really looking for good leadership or people to aid them where generally the country hasn't been able to provide for these needs that they want. Yes, we've heard the reports, but if you ask me as well, it comes with the job.
But the citizens' demands will not hinder their pursuit of their dreams.
Even though I have not been an MP before, from a close range, I know what goes in there and I know how life is for them. But I think that my philosophy is that you don't let the position change your standard of living. So if you don't live within your means and you want to live like, in quotes, big man, the moment you exit from the office and those privileges are no more there, then you begin to be uncomfortable.
So I ask, what is the motivation?
To be able to see what we can also do for the people. As a parliamentarian, we all know that you are not directly in charge of developmental matters, but nevertheless, you can use your good office to be able to lobby for things like roads, water systems, and other things that the community may lead as you go around talking to them. I look forward to the opportunity to be able to represent my constituency if I'm given the nod, and to be able to represent them when it comes to the enactment and even the amendment of laws in Ghana.
The parliamentary office gives you a bigger leverage, so as to say, to be able to drive development, to be able to enhance the democratic credentials of the country, and to be able to take part in key decision making that ultimately benefits everybody in society.
I see the platform as an opportunity to change the narrative about development in my community. I see myself as becoming an instrument of change for my people, and that is why all the policies that I'm pursuing and all that I seek to pursue when given the opportunity are aimed towards uplifting the communities and empowering my people.
Over the past decades, spending on intra-party candidates selection has quadrupled, with aspiring MPs spending thousands of cedis on delegates encounters alone. For these candidates, the amount spent in becoming a legislator will not deter them. They will find ways and means to fund their activities just to become an MP, not just to enjoy the prestige that comes with it, but to better serve the people. They are, however, mindful of life after the legislature. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Accra.
You're still watching the morning news here on TV3. I am Godwin Asidiba. Let's head to the largest opposition political party now. The next NDC administration plans to reconsider the distribution of sanitary pads to female learners in both basic and senior high schools. NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama gave the hint when he addressed some teacher unions. The policy under the former NDC administration was heavily criticized by the then opposition New Patriotic Party. There's more.
The provision of free sanitary pads for female learners in both basic and senior high schools was initiated under the SWL NDC administration. If you remember, our opponents now in government mocked us and called it the pad loan. For you, the unions, to have raised this as an issue in the concerns that you have presented to us means that our policy on sanitary pads was well thought through and needs to be looked at again. The NDC policy of infrastructure development will again be pursued vigorously to decongest the large class sizes. Abandoned infrastructure in the basic and senior high schools and TVET schools, including the famous E-blocks, will receive priority attention under a new NDC administration.
We head to the Ashanti regional capital now. Onion traders in Kwabena in Kumasi are said to relocate after being forced to do so. A joint military police task force enforced the Ashanti Regional Security Council's eviction directive after the traders' previous resistance. Ibrahim Abubakar has come through with the following report.
After plying his trade at the Kwabena onion market for more than 11 years, Alhassan Azure is now forced to start afresh in a new place. The 13-year-old onion market has been demolished after traders resisted waves of evacuation plans. The Ashanti Regional Security Council, in a statement, cited security risk for motorists, pedestrians, and the traders themselves, alongside vehicular traffic during peak hours, as reasons for the relocation of the market to Achimate Chimai.
Frankly speaking, we are not saying we won't relocate, but the issue at hand is the place is too small to contain all of us. And at least with our business, we deal with big trucks because they are trailer trucks that bring our onion from Niger to Ghana so that we offload. So even per this current place, if there are times we have issues with parking, which results in traffic. So per where they are giving us, in the long run, it is going to pose that same problem.
Under the supervision of the military and police, the entire market structure, accommodating over 2,000 traders, was flattened within 3 hours. The traders admitted they've been served eviction notice, but raised concern about the adequacy of the new marketplace to contain all of them.
They've met us, inform us number of times, but giving us dates that we should relocate. But in fact, where they told us that they will relocate us to, in fact, that place is smaller as compared to where we are living now.
While some of the onion traders have accepted their new market environment and have moved to secure their trading spots, others are bent on trading along the shoulders of the road and close to the old market. Though the traders say the new marketplace cannot contain all of them, the Regional Security Council is bent on relocating each and every trader here before it addresses their concerns. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kwabena, Kumasi.
On behalf of the production team, thank you so much for making us a part of your time this morning. That's how we end the news. There's more news if you log on to 3news.com. My name is Godwin Asidiba. New Day continues shortly. See you soon.